Hi, I'm Johnny. I'm a global artist ambassador for FENIX360, and I'm blessed to be joined today by the pop soul artist, Olivia King. Hey, Olivia, how are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are you? Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, thanks so much for being with me. I really appreciate you and looking forward to sharing your music with our audience, Olivia. So if it's cool with you, how about we tune into your track you just dropped, PTSD?
Yeah, just dropped yesterday. The music video just dropped. I'm excited.
Good
First
for you.
music video, official video in 3 years. So big
Wow.
one.
Excellent timing. Well, we're happy to be able to share it right here. So let's all tune in now to Olivia King with PTSD.
Olivia, when are you coming out? Your dinner's getting cold.
I be staring in the moonlight, thinking about you, tossing, turning, wide awake. I've been having nightmares every single night, they won't seem to go away. Can't remember the last time I ate, I just sit, reminisce by your face. I can't stand when I'm stuck in this place, my head hurts at the sound of your name. Demons, tell me why you still remain. Can't shake you off, demons. Seems like I'll take you to the grave. Vivid flashbacks, I'm stuck in denial, and I know this shit might take a while. My demons don't know what's left to say. I've been suffering from PTSD. I've been suffering from PTSD. Past the present can't happen no more. Leave the baggage and shit at the door. PTSD. I've been self-destructing. Reckless love, having problems concentrating on the fact that he's not you. Need to open up my mind, don't want wasted time. Seeing the light, open my eyes, I know you ain't right. Demons, tell me why you still remain. Can't shake you off, demons. Seems like I'll take you to the grave. Vivid flashbacks, I'm stuck in denial, and I know this shit might take a while. My demons don't know what's left to say. I've been suffering from PTSD. I've been suffering from PTSD.
Olivia, great. It was great to listen to your music and see your video just so fresh out of the gate. And thank you so much. So now I'm interested in learning about you. Can you tell me, where are you from and how did you become a pop soul star?
Thank you. Quite the title. I am from Rhode Island, small state in the US, but I like to rep it hard. I am still here. I've had so many instances where I've been like this close to moving to LA. So hoping to have a place on both coasts so I can be with my family and, have a bit of a career over in LA. But I really started when I was super young. I started in church. One of my friends raised my hand for me for a solo, and it's kind of been a wrap from there. I always knew that I wanted to be here, but back in third grade when my friend raised my hand for me, I was terrified. So
I'm sure of
so
it.
but ever since I got up there and did it, like I was addicted to the rush of performing.
Uh-huh. Wow, that's really cool. Actually, that inspiration from your third grade friend. I mean, you're probably 9 years old.
I
And
know. I like to give her credit every time anyone asks, like,
yeah.
"Oh, how did it start?" I like go back to the real start.
Uh-huh. No, but I really like it because it's a very organic way, and it's great when a friend like that can actually is a supporter of yours and encouraging you to go for it, which you
Yeah, she
yeah.
sat next to me when we were in church choir, and I just remember her saying to me like, "Liv, I hear you like in my ear singing next to me. I think you might be pretty good. Why don't you try out for the solo?" And I was like, "No, absolutely not." And then when the choir director asked, she raised my hand for me, and it's a wrap.
Olivia, I love it. And, that's must have been, you recognize kind of your soul's calling then, is that,
Mhm.
you love performing, and you know what I mean? And now you've progressed to the extent in which you're producing music and developing even further art through video production and content generation. So let me ask this question, pop soul, integrating kind of those genres um, in your sound, were there other pop or soul artists that you really appreciated that, helped inspire your work?
For sure. My mom is a big catalyst to my love for soul music. I just, as far back as I can remember, the only music she would ever play in our house was like soulful stuff, whether it was Motown or R&B. It was like constantly hearing Aretha Franklin or Lauryn Hill or Gladys Knight. Like she loved all of that kind of music. And I think that's where my love for it really started. So like artists like Lauryn Hill on the soulful music side are definitely people I look up to. And then on the pop side, it's those crazy performers like Beyonce and Ariana Grande that, have really taken over on the pop side. So I like to kind of mesh the two together to give me a little bit of a different edge instead of just being solely one genre. So
Right.
everything I do has like a sprinkle of soul on it.
Well, listen, that's beautiful. And I love, of course, these inspirations and the artists that you mentioned. So let me ask this question, writing is so important, aspect of the kinds of messaging and storytelling that you do. And it seems like that R&B, cool, soulful music so much captured relationship types of storylines, whether it's someone leaving another person, so they're kind of heartbreaking, or in some cases they're elated because they're in love. So and so let me ask this question, like with regard to your own music and your own story narratives, what helps drive some of that content?
Relationships for sure. I think for any songwriter, it's like that's probably the first thing you pull from because your heart is in relationships. And when you make music, it should be from the heart, whether it's happy, sad, or otherwise. So I definitely take from relationships. I actually just got married in December.
Congratulations, good for you.
Thank you. Yeah, 9 years in the making. So I've been in a it's great, but healthy, happy relationship. And I'm like, dang, can you just give me some content? Like, give me like something
That's
like
what
we
you
have
asked for.
I know. Be careful what I ask for. But I'm like,
Yeah.
I need to tap back into those high school relationships where I was absolutely heartbroken and
Devastated.
gut wrenched, yeah, devastated. And I need to tap back into that for like those breakup anthems. And for a while, I was doing a lot of that. I've actually had like past boyfriends reach out to me and be like, heard that song. I'm like, well, okay. sounds, sounds good. But yeah,
Royalties, I think.
for sure, relationships are the first thing I tap into when I write. And then I also like to be really tapped in with my audience on my socials. So I do live streams on my Instagram like every day. And I'm constantly having people give me ideas for whether it's a situation in their own life. I always reach out and ask people, like, hey, let me write a song about you or what you're going through. And so I really like to tap into like other people's situations too, especially if I'm getting in a little bit of a writing rut. But I would say definitely relationships, situations that other people have gotten into. Um, those are definitely the two that I pull from the
Olivia,
hardest.
that's cool that you have a kind of a dialogue underway
Yeah.
with your social media where they're
Yeah.
actually you're listening to those voices and those requests and then actually forming music related to those inspirations.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
mean, I think it's so important. Sorry, not to cut you off, but I released a song in 2020 about having anxiety, and that was obviously a time where we were all going through, whether you suffered from anxiety or not, you probably had a little anxiety about everything that was going on. And the response to that was so great that I was like, okay, I really need to tap in like this is my purpose. Like I'm writing music to help get people through their days, and if they can relate to me and to the song and to the lyrics, like that is so important to me. So that's why I definitely like tapping into other people and the situations they have going on, because it might be something that I'm going through too, but didn't really think to write about, or have been too nervous or felt vulnerable to write about. But when I do that, like it has the greatest response, which is kind of crazy.
It becomes more authentic, right? It's
For
real
sure.
and it's relevant and it's relatable. And
Mhm.
all of those things are, so important to us in terms of how they move us emotionally. And that's what music can really tap into is, that feeling, that, like you
Yeah.
said, that heart intelligence. So you're doing it so beautifully, Olivia. I love it. Okay. So what's coming up then? I mean, I know you just dropped PTSD. What's coming up in the near future?
Yeah, so I had an idea this year. It's on my 2022 goals list to release a collaborative project, because I want people to be able to tap into my audience and me to be able to tap into theirs. It's like, I scratch your back, you scratch mine, and it works out for everyone. So I am deciding to, instead of do new collaborations, I'm going to go back and make remixes to about 10 of my most successful songs. And I have a bunch of artists that I'm really excited to collaborate on that with. So that's like my big project of 2022. But last year I made it a point to release a single every month at least. So I think I did like 14 or 15 or so. So I squeaked that out. And that's the same thing for this year. I just preach consistency is key. Like in anything you do, if you're consistent, you're bound to be successful. Like my famous quote that I always say is like, no one ever says like I worked my ass off and never got anywhere. Like if you're gonna put in the work consistently, you're gonna see results. So I need to practice what I preach.
I know, and same here, but there is that saying also, it's like, it's 10% inspiration and 90% perspiration,
Mm.
because, you're working at it, you know what I mean? So at any rate, I think it's true. If you don't give up and you keep persisting, no matter what, it's ultimately, you're going to reach your goals and expand into new ones.
Yeah.
So that's really encouraging and exciting. And we're going to look forward to following your progress, Olivia. So I want everyone to tune in to the social media channels you find below for Olivia King, pop soul music artist, and look for her rising on FENIX360. So thank you so much, Olivia, for being with me. I really appreciate you. You take care.
Thank you. I had so much fun. I love talking all things music. So
I
happy
love,
to share.
I love sharing your voice and sharing your music, and really looking forward to having you on FENIX360. So thank you so much.
For sure. Thank you.
All right, take care.